Joseph Shuttleworth, 1819 to 1883, was a new breed of landowner, not an heir to a great estate, but a wealthy industrialist with a vision for a well-run and profitable business. He embraced new technologies and management styles and brought this ethos to Old Warden. One of the first things he did when he bought the estate was to set about a programme of repair and improvement. He began by demolishing the outdated Ongley residence and building a grand Jacobean-style mansion, today the site of Shuttleworth College. He must have loved the Swiss garden, for he employed the architect Henry Clutton and his trusted head gardener Edward Milner to help him restore and regenerate it. Working closely together on the plans, they retained most of the original garden features, restoring the buildings and adding some sympathetic new elements. One of Joseph Shuttleworth's most notable introductions was the widespread use of a type of artificial rockwork known as pulamite. He used this innovative garden product to add interest to and rework a number of the garden's features, including the underpass, Punt Harbour, and the grotto and fernery approaches and interior. Joseph Shuttleworth and his predecessor have left a fine legacy at the Swiss Garden, and today many of the buildings and structures are listed in recognition of their historic significance. Joseph Shuttleworth died in 1883, and Old Warden was inherited by his son Frank, a colonel in the Bedfordshire Imperial Yeomanry, and later a major in the 7th Hussars. Frank Shuttleworth had a distinguished career, becoming a Justice of the Peace and High Sheriff. He was also a director of the Great Northern Railway and president of the Bedfordshire Agricultural Society. He died in 1913, leaving one son, Richard Ormond Shuttleworth, aged just 3½. Richard was tragically killed in 1940 in a flying accident whilst serving with the Royal Air Force Volunteer Reserve. Following Richard's death, his mother Dorothy placed the Shuttleworth estate in a charitable trust, the Shuttleworth Trust, intending that the estate should be used to promote the Shuttleworth family's interest in agriculture and her son's love of aviation. Shuttleworth College opened in 1946 in the main house. Richard Shuttleworth's collection of aeroplanes and other vehicles opened to the public in 1963. During the mid-20th century, the garden became derelict and overgrown. It was recognised in the 1970s that the garden required urgent restoration, and Bedfordshire County Council took over the lease, and in 1976 work began. After completion of the works, the garden was opened to the public for the first time in 1981.